So I recently picked up the Pixel 4. Wait, I'm lying, Google sent the FedEx to my door. I ain't have to pay for it, but I'm grateful, praying hands I adore.
I don't see the pros, don't know the cons, forget the why.
Oh, really?
Do you know why?
Yeah, I do. First off, let's talk about
y'all, welcome back. Hope y'all enjoyed that intro, man, where I kicked a few bars about the Pixel, man. That whole video is coming very, very soon, so definitely keep it locked for that. But if this is your first time on the channel, y'all, welcome. This is a channel where I talk about everything and all things tech, but I also rap about technology as well because I like music, like kicking bars, like tech, all that good stuff. So if that is something that you want to hear and want to hear more of, definitely make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, as well as give this video a thumbs up. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the Pixel 4, man. There's been so much crazy stuff people have been saying about the Pixel 4, creators hating on the Pixel 4, man. I'm gonna set the record straight right out of the gate, y'all. The Pixel 4 is dope. Now, this one here, man, is the clearly white version that y'all are seeing right here, man. Now, Google was cool enough to hook me up with the Google Pixel 4, so major shout out to Google for that. Hashtag Team Pixel, baby, we out here. But anyway, y'all, so first thing I want to talk about is the look and design of this phone. Now, I am a huge fan of the look and design of this phone, man. Personally, I think it is the best looking phone that has come out this year. Why I say that is because this back of this matte back finish here is super dope. One that I like about it is it doesn't get fingerprints at all. To me, I think this is actually the very first phone that has come out that does not give you any type of fingerprints or anything like that is gonna come on the back of this phone. Well, I take that back because I think the iPhone 11 Pro, I think, won't also give you the fingerprints because it also has a matte back finish as well. So let me take that back. To me, man, just giving y'all my initial impression about it, I think the back of this phone and just the overall appeal of this phone looks really clean. Now, to me, the clearly white version is my personal favorite. Now, they also have an Oso orange and they also have a jet black version. Now, if you guys are into the jet black one, then just keep in mind that that jet black finish is not a matte black finish. It is going to be a glossy finish. So just keep that in mind if that is something y'all want to pick up. First thing I want to talk about after that is I want to go into the screen. Now, screen quality, man, first off, go into the developer option, man. And this is if something that y'all want to see a whole video on, but basically you want to go into your developer option and change that flag, man, to switch it on over to force it to a 90 hertz display. Basically what that's going to do is currently right now on the Pixel 4, you get a mode that is default set where it's basically going to flop back and forth between 60 or 90 hertz as it's needed. But to me, I feel like if I'm buying this phone, I want the best display that this phone can possibly give you. So to me, I personally switched it over, went into the developer option, and I forced it over to always give me a 90 hertz display. Now again, that is going to be something that is going to drain more on your battery, which we're going to touch on battery here in a little second in this video, so definitely make sure you hold on to that because I'm telling you, there's a lot of lies out there, man. People are telling y'all about this battery, and we're going to talk about it. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about it. Now staying on the screen here, man, I do think the 90 hertz display is good looking. I think the display on the Pixel is really, really good for consuming media, or if you're watching videos, or you know, if you're on social media playing games. That 90 hertz display does look really good on here. But by this being the first 90 hertz display that I've personally ever seen, I know OnePlus has a 90 hertz display, and a couple other phones have the 90 hertz display. I'm gonna be honest with you, I think the 90 hertz is more of a gimmick. And I'm gonna be honest, man, I think there's people out there that are kind of hyping up the 90 hertz. Like, it looks good, but it's not something that's just kind of like, oh my God, like this is a 90 hertz display. Like, I gotta go run out and get it. It's not that, man. It does look good, but it's not that one thing that's just gonna be like, oh my God, this is taking the phone to the next level. It's definitely not that, but it does look good on the phone. Even when I'm scrolling through here, like, it does scroll very smooth. Like, I can't knock that. So it does flow really smooth when it comes to that. But again, it's not something that's just like this huge selling point that I must run out and go grab, you know, a Pixel 4 because it has a 90 hertz display. There's so many other good things that we're going to get into in this video about this phone that I feel that makes it worth it. The other thing I want to talk about that y'all want to know about before we get into that battery and start talking about the battery on this phone is I want to talk about the camera, since that seems to be the big topic about Google Pixel, and honestly it's one of the #1 selling points as to, you know, what they're pushing as to why you guys should go and buy a Pixel 4. Now, with that being said, man, I think the Pixel 4 camera is dope. And when I say camera, I'm specifically talking about camera for photography. I think when it comes to taking photos on the Pixel 4, I think the Pixel 4 does a really good job, just like it did on the Pixel 3 as well as the Pixel 3a. Those were two phones that I have. I have the Pixel 3a. Google was cool enough to send that out as well. I think the Pixel 3a takes just as good as photos as the Pixel 4. And honestly, that's not a shot at the Pixel 4. It's honestly a testimony to how good their software really is, that they can translate it from an older device and still be able to stay on par with their newer devices. Because honestly, I still think they could have actually put a single lens camera on here and I still would have been okay. Now, a lot of people out there, man, they're complaining about, oh, well, Google didn't give us the ultra wide lens. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I do love the ultra wide lens. I think the ultra wide lens definitely gives a different perspective when it comes to taking photos or taking videos with your devices. But again, is ultra wide a huge enough selling point to whereas I'm using that feature all the time if I'm a normal consumer like you guys out there or like myself? I'm gonna be honest, I had the iPhone 11 Pro. Did I love the camera? Absolutely, I love the camera. I think the camera was a dope camera. I think ultra wide on it is cool. I think ultra wide on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus is also cool. But the longer that I actually had those phones, I noticed myself not really using ultra wide as much as I thought I was actually gonna use it. I think these camera features like that are gonna be for those people out there that are really detail about taking photos, or they're really into photography and phone photography and different things like that. The normal user that is out there are typically, they're just going to pull out their phone and whatever the normal camera mode that's going to be on this phone is the mode that they're going to most likely take their photos in. So to me, I think them still giving us a wide angle lens, just not the ultra wide lens, I'm actually okay with, man. I'm not really going to sit up here and pout and cry about Google not putting an ultra wide lens. Now, would I have liked the ultra wide lens? Yeah, I think that would have been a nice feature. But again, just because company XYZ does something doesn't necessarily mean that this company should actually do it. Let's go ahead and take a step back here, man. Now, y'all got to remember, a lot of these companies were still just putting dual lenses on their smartphones. And then what did Google do and shocked everybody is they said, we're going to do what their phones are trying to do with a single lens. So why are we all of a sudden getting upset that Google did not put a triple lens or an ultra wide lens onto their camera system? We wasn't complaining when they just had a single lens on their camera just a year ago. So why are we complaining now? But that's the camera for photography in a nutshell. To me, I think the camera is dope. I think it does what it needs to do. Still takes sharp photos. Don't listen to the mess out there, man. When it comes to taking photos on this camera, it's still legit. Now, switching over to video. I think when it comes to shooting video on this phone, it's not the best. It's not what I was actually hoping for. That was actually one of my biggest things that I was hopeful for and why I was so looking forward to getting this device here, man, getting it in hand, is because I was hoping that they put some of that same cool technology that they put into the photo camera and actually transfer that over to the video camera. But for some reason, they didn't really put that much effort into it. Now, I'm not gonna say the video camera on this phone is bad. It's just not up to par to something like the iPhone 11 Pro, which has no doubt, and I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, the iPhone 11 Pro, man, has the best overall camera in the game right now, period. And that goes for photos and that also goes for video. But when it comes to the Pixel 4, man, I don't feel like the video camera on this phone is bad. It's just, again, not up to par with what some of the other companies. And to me, that's okay. This is a work in progress. This is not easy to build these phones out, man. People out there are just whining about these phones. It is killing me because I'm just like, y'all act like that y'all can go out there and actually build these phones yourself. If so, I feel like you would have done it. So let's stop complaining, man, and actually start championing these companies, man, about pushing the envelope and pushing things forward instead of complaining about the things that we don't have, and most likely the things that they didn't put in here that most likely you're not going to use. Now, y'all have to understand this. Google did not become a top branded company because they don't know what they're doing. I'm pretty sure the reason why they chose the telephoto lens over an ultra wide lens has something to do with the data that they're receiving. Y'all got to remember, they are the #1 search engine in the world, meaning that Google data centers collect a ton of information from users every single second of the day. So I'm sure they have data that backs up the reason why they chose to go without the ultra wide lens and go with the telephoto lens on here instead of that. So again, man, stop complaining about that. Overall, I think the camera is dope. Video quality, I wish it would have been a little better. But again, y'all have to keep in mind that this is the Pixel 4, not the Pixel 11 Pro or the Pixel 11 XL or something like that. Y'all have to keep in mind that Apple have been in the phone game for years, meaning that they've had time to develop what they have today. So the same thing with Samsung. Samsung has been in the phone game for years. And I know what some of y'all gonna say, well, Google had the Nexus, blah, blah, blah. Google really started getting into this phone game, man, heavy with these Google Pixels. So give Google some time, man, to let them perfect their craft. I think what they're doing is they're taking their time and they're saying, hey, we're gonna make sure we perfect the photography side of it, then we're gonna move on to the video side. Just give these companies time, man, to be able to manufacture something great. And I definitely think Google is definitely going to do that. I definitely think maybe the next iteration or even maybe the next iteration after that. I'm hoping it's the next iteration with the video camera. So I'm hoping, Google, I'm cheering for you because I'm cheering for you. I think that we should give Google some time, man, and actually give them time to perfect a perfect phone because, again, the other competitors, they have been in this space for a long time, man. So it's honestly, man, it's not a cop-out. It's not a complaint. It's not me whining about it. I just think it's true. I think if we look at the iPhone from when it first started to the iPhone or what it is today, there's been several iterations of that phone. And the same thing with the Galaxy Note. There's been several iterations of that. So why are we jumping on Google's back because they don't have an ultra wide lens, or with the portrait mode, they now crop? It is what it is. Let's just stop complaining about it, man. Like, it's not that big of a deal that's gonna make you not wanna go buy this phone. That's all I'm saying, man. The things with the camera is not bad. I think that camera on the Google Pixel is dope. Period. Moving on. All right, so facial recognition now is a feature that is now added to the Google Pixel lineup. So if you're not familiar with facial recognition, basically facial recognition is going to allow you guys to be able to unlock your phone just by holding the phone up to your face. So you don't have to put in a PIN code or anything like that, or a swipe pattern or anything like that. Now you can just hold it up to your face, and the Google Pixel 4 is going to allow you guys to be able to enter in and authenticate your phone. Now, is this new technology? No, it's not new technology, and it's actually not perfect, because if you out there, man, and I'm gonna tell fellas, and this goes to the ladies too, because y'all ain't perfect either. Ladies, fellas, I will say there is a flaw with this system. It can unlock your phone just by holding it up to your face, and it's not actually reading your eyes just like it does on the iPhone. So just keep that in mind. So if you out there and you doing something that you shouldn't be doing, this probably ain't gonna be the phone for you, because people can get into your phone while you sleep. I'm just putting it out there. Hey, that's all I'm gonna say about the facial recognition. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about that y'all have been waiting on, and that is me talking about the battery life on this bad boy right here. So going into my phone here, man, I'm looking at the battery life right now, man. I'm looking at about literally 6 hours and 15 minutes, and I have about 14% battery life that's actually left. Now that's saying that right now it is about 11:18 at night. So it is saying that right now this phone here should last till 3:30 a.m. with 14% battery left. Now again, I'm sure it's not gonna last till 3:30, but with 14% left, and I was getting about 6 hours 15, so I'm probably gonna say roughly you can get about 7, depending on what you're doing, you can probably get about 7 to 8 hours with the Google Pixel 4. Now, a lot of people out there have been saying, well, the battery don't last that long. It don't last as long as the iPhone, or it don't last as long as the Note 10 Plus or the S10 Plus or whatever. Okay, that's fine. It may not last as long, but the real question is, can the Google Pixel get you through your whole day? Yes, the Google Pixel, man, can get me through the whole day. Now, I'm going to give y'all exactly what I've been doing on this phone. So some of the things that I was doing on my phone to be able to really test out the battery was, On my ride up here, I was using Google Maps to be able to navigate myself. I was listening to music on my way up here. Had an entire conversation, literally an hour and a half conversation, been talking on the phone throughout the day, and still was able to get about 6 to 7 hours of battery life on this device, man. And I still have some battery life left. Yeah, it's about to die, I'm not even gonna lie to you, but still, it's able to last me throughout the whole day. And that's really what's important when it comes to battery life on the phone. I think a lot of people are actually getting hung up on how many milliamps it is in the phone. Milliamps really doesn't matter when it comes to battery power of a phone. It's all about the optimization of what that company is doing to conserve battery usage on that device. Battery life on the Google Pixel 4 is legit. It can get you through an entire day. Now, is it better than battery power on the iPhone 11 Pro? No, it's not even close, to be honest with you. But again, it doesn't mean that this is a bad phone when it comes to battery power. It still will get you through a full day. Now, it probably won't get you through a whole day and a half like the iPhone 11 Pro. But again, most of the time for what I'm using my phone for, I'm still good when it comes to getting through a full day with the Google Pixel 4. So overall, man, again, this is not a review, although it kind of felt like a review, but I just wanted to give y'all my initial impressions about this phone, what I've been liking about it, what I dislike about it, some of the features that I wish they would add, just some constructive feedback for them. But overall, man, I think the Google Pixel 4 is a go. I think this is a phone, if you guys are looking to upgrade from, let's say, the Pixel 2, then I would definitely make that jump. But I will say, if you guys are trying to upgrade and you're looking at switching out your Pixel 3 or your Pixel 3a, I would personally say stick with the 3A or stick with the 3, because when it comes to the cameras and the features of this phone, you're not going to really see that big of a difference when it comes to some of the features of this phone. Now, they do have the gestures that you guys can use. I haven't necessarily really used it. I think that can be more of a gimmick, but it seems like that's kind of the wave. Like, a lot of these companies are coming out with at least one gimmick of something that they can push and that they can market towards. But I personally haven't used the gesture yet. I'll probably use it and I'll provide that in my final review when I actually review it. But just wanted to give y'all my initial impressions about the Google Pixel 4 and set the record straight, man. I think this phone is dope, and that's all I got to say about it. Otherwise, man, stay tuned for that Rap Tech video. If it's not out already, if it is out, I'll have it right up here on the screen for y'all to check out. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. What'd you say? Oh, I should tell them to subscribe. Hey. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel right now.
First off, let's talk about the screen. 90 hertz refresh rate, yeah, it's clean. Media looking clean, boy flowing off a scene. Pixel in my hand, swag, wall, flame, gasoline. Woo!
Don't wanna talk, don't wanna see, don't wanna feel.
Is that right?
What is left?
Well, let me show you. Now them colors that they came out with was clearly white. I ain't saying that's it. Also, orange matte finish is lit. I'm not crazy about gloss black. Ask them to resubmit, cause check it out now.